I never had a mentor, so I studied the pros. Jaycen Joshua, Dave Pensado, Ilangelo, and I stole, I borrowed the techniques that changed my mixes forever. I use these on every song I finish. Listen to this sweet-sounding reverb.
I can feel the sky under my own feet. So surreal and sweet. 'Cause honestly with you I can feel something.
Listen how these percussions come alive. Here's another example how Jaycen Joshua gets that big 808 sound using distortion. I will go through all the techniques that will hopefully spark some new ideas and help you when you're mixing your next song. Reverb tip number 1. Vocal reverb. This tip comes from Jaycen Joshua. He uses this vocal reverb for most of his songs. This one is called Crystal Clear and acts as depth of the room the singer is singing in. First plugin he uses is a delay with super short delay time, 1/64th, and no feedback. Mix at 100%. This acts as the pre-delay, but on steroids. This keeps the vocals initially dry, and then behind is all the effects, the tornado. Next, we got the famous Valhalla vintage verb with these settings. Since this reverb is heavy on the bottom, we remove some low end with EQ. A new instance of Valhalla vintage verb, and this time with the concert hall mode. Lastly, a gentle reduction in the mid-range where needed.
I can feel the sky under my own feet. So surreal and sweet. 'Cause honestly with you I can feel something. Oh yeah.
Reverb tip number 2. Vintage verb. We start with age delay again with exact same settings like previous example. Then we add a spring reverb. After that, a delay again. This time it's set on 1/16th dotted. A little feedback and filtering. Valhalla vintage verb. R compressor with 5 decibel gain reduction and finishing off with EQ, removing some low end and mid-range.
Holding on to you in the middle of the night, yeah, when all the stars collide, holding on to you.
Reverb tip number 3. Vocal spread. This preset comes from Valhalla vintage verb. It's very popular. Jaycen Joshua uses this to spread the vocals. It is called vocal spread. Did I mention that it spreads the vocals?
Holding on to you in the middle of the night, yeah, when all the stars collide, holding on to you.
Tip number 3. Fat 808s. To get a louder 808, use this technique. Duplicate the 808. On the original track, add an EQ with high and low pass. Add a compressor with these settings. The compressor will give the sound a little pop with the 48 millisecond attack. On the duplicated 808, add EQ, removing more highs and lows. A compressor with the same setting as the previous one. Then we add a tube screamer or distortion. And lastly, we add an EQ, focusing only on the area we want to be heard. Tip number 4. Carve out frequencies. As Jaycen Joshua explains it, mixing is about removing voltage. By carving out anything that isn't important on each track, you lower the total voltage hitting the tubas. Less voltage means more headroom, and that's how you get a louder mix without distortion. He talked about this when mixing the 808. Looking at the distorted track, we remove a whole lot, only focusing on specifically the lower mid-range. Same with the EQ for the vocal reverb. We are carving out 6 decibel low end and mid-range from 3 kHz. Tip number 5. Mixing philosophy. Sounds that have their own role in the song should usually be mixed individually. They need their own space so they can clearly do their job. Sounds that play a similar role should be mixed in a similar way, so they work together instead of fighting each other. For example, a kick and an 808 both live in the low end, so they should be shaped with the same mindset. And looking at this compressor on the 808, for example, Jaycen is using the same setting on the 808 as for the kick. Layered synths, background vocals, or stacked percussions should also share similar processing so they feel like one element. Tip number 6. Spreader. I love using this technique on percussive sounds. Add 2 instances of PS22 spread. First instance with this setting and the second one using this setting. You will really hear a big difference in how the sounds get wider and also gaining more body. This is a fantastic wide, semi-out-of-phase effect. Tip number 7. Front or back. This is how Jaycen uses reverb on tracks that he wants to control the perceived front or back location of the specific track. Use this setting, and then with the distance knob you can choose if the sound should be in the front or back or somewhere in between. Tip number 8. 2-bus processing. Billie Eilish producer Finneas often uses ozone vintage tape on the 2-bus to gently enhance the overall sound. I tried this approach myself, and it's now on almost every song I make. It's subtle, it's clean, but it lifts the track just a little, and you really feel the difference when you bypass it. Tip number 9. Soothe 2. Soothe 2 is the kind of plugin that I use on almost every mix. I cannot recall who gave me this specific tip, but doing this will greatly enhance your lead element. I use Soothe 2 as a dynamic EQ. For example, I put Soothe 2 on all music bus. It is then sidechained to the lead vocals. And with these settings, I'm carving out approximately 2 to 3 decibels from everything except lead vocals. And the reduction is happening in real time as the lead vocals change, meaning there is absolutely no fixed EQ settings here. It is changing constantly, depending on the sound source. This is sidechain on steroids, and you can apply this technique on different sounds, sidechaining pretty much anything that's in the way for the lead elements like vocals, synths, or bass sounds.